If you want to buy cheap and reliable NBA 2K20, MT, and NFL 20 MUT coins, please go to dvdj.com/NBA2K20 and use code XKAPAR to get 10% off your first purchase. Hey yo, what's going on everybody? It's your boy XKAPAR y'all with a brand new video, and as you guys can see, I've basically finished all of the Clyde Drexler challenges besides game 17, and again there is a glitch with game 17, but I'm going to tell you guys how I did all other 16 of the games, and you guys can see it's another one of these does not meet the current lineup. Now, before you guys go into the comment section and start typing about it's because of the secondary positions, if you come and look at my lineup, primary point guard at the point guard, primary shooting guard at the shooting guard, primary small forward at the small forward, primary power forward at the power forward, primary center at the center. I went ahead and avoided the secondary position glitch, and it still doesn't work, so it's not a glitch with anything that we have control of. I've talked to 2K support. They said that they literally don't know because I've gone ahead and avoided the glitch, so they have to talk to the devs and they're gonna let me know. So whenever I fully understand, you guys get it, you guys will see a gameplay of it on the channel. But as of right now, it is not the secondary position glitch. The game itself is just glitched, so you can't get Steve Francis yet, or I would have been the first in the world to get him. But we're gonna go through and just look at all of the spotlight challenges. So I did actually go through and write down which ones I personally had difficulty with for a bit. This first one, when you get Clyde, super easy. The second one, super easy. You just need 20 points with Clyde. I think guys can do that on rookie real easy. This one is 27 points with Jim Paxson. I feel like that's not too bad, to be honest, because once Walter Davis gets out of the game, you can just blow by him every single possession. A lot of pick and rolls, and you'll get open if you are having trouble. But it's pro difficulty. You should be able to do that perfectly fine. This next one, just win the game with Clyde and Mychal, Thompson, and Paxson. Real easy. This one, game 5, I actually did have some difficulty with because of Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. So game 5, be careful. How I personally went about, not losing was I took my center, I off-balled, and paid a close attention to Magic. If Kareem was anywhere outside of the paint, I didn't worry about it, because if he tried to take a mid-range jumper, he doesn't really have that high of a mid-range on that card. I know when we have him, he does, but on that card, he doesn't have a really high mid-range, so it was really easy to take advantage of him, and I used my power forward because Kurt Rambis was an awful defender, so just be careful on that. Game 6 was really easy. You just have to use Clyde and win the game, so use an OP team. If I think I'm correct, I use this team right here. You can see I have Clyde, Jerome, Kersey. I was actually using Patrick Ewing. Just use all your OP cards and just go into the game and win. It's super easy. It's really not hard at all. Now, for, what is it? I think we are on game 6 that we just passed. For game 7, score 40 points with Clyde Drexler. That was another one that I thought might be a little bit of difficulty. I found it easy. I scored my 40 points and won in the first half and won by like 60. But I'm going to show you guys how I personally cheated after I talk about all the challenges and got all these points. 11 assists. Again, this one was a little bit difficult. Not for me. I got 10 of my 11 assists in the first quarter. But again, I'll show you. It's really just pick and rolls, throw it down to the center, and backdoor cuts. Game 9 is just win the game. Super easy with the cards that it says. This one, just win the game with the cards that it says. This one, hold Michael Jordan to under 20. I'll show you the defense settings that I used. I actually held the entire Chicago Bulls team to under 20. And I do have some clips of me actually playing. If that might be better, I might throw those in. This one, just win the game with Jerome, Kersey, and Clyde Drexler. Again, a lot of these are just win. It's super easy. Kenny Smith and Clyde, just win the game again. Anytime it says just win the game, use the 2 cards and an OP lineup. It's super easy. This one, score 41 points with Clyde Drexler on superstar difficulty. This one, again, I scored all 41 of my points in the first half, and I'll show you guys how I did that. And then this one is score 39 points with Hakeem Olajuwon. A little bit more difficult. I actually had a decent bit of difficulty getting this, but I still got all the points in the first half. And this one, just win. And this one, it's just win, but you have to use the entire setup. And right now, it's not working. So I'm going to hop into, actually, I'll just do the very first spotlight challenge. We're just going to move all the way down here, and I'll show you guys how I personally scored. I'm going to change my lineup to this, and we'll put in Hakeem. And we'll set it to that one. Okay, so we'll go in here and I'll show you guys exactly what settings that I put on, how I thought about everything going into the game, and what personally I feel like you should do to just get all the points. Because the 41 against the Jazz in game 14 is pretty difficult. The 39 with Hakeem against the Spurs is really difficult. So you really have to, you know, think about how you're playing very critically before you actually go in. It's not a very easy task to win some of these games. But I'm going to show you guys how I did it, because I with the utmost of my ability, cheese the CPU. Let me skip through all of these games because beginning intros, because we don't need them. So for the defensive settings, obviously, we're going to come in, and offensive settings, this one's big. If you have the ability to change these, because you don't every single time, change that to shoot at will, and I change it to crash offensive boards because my 4 and 5, you know, occasionally get them. And go to freelance and change this one right here, freelance 1, to the 2018 Bucks. Go to defensive settings. We're going to go to on ball pressure tight, off ball pressure tight, force direction baseline. I'm doing this because a lot of you guys didn't like how the defensive settings were last time, so I'm changing them to just real simple, easy ones, and they worked perfectly for me. So then you're going to go and look at all the players. So again, if they can drive and shoot, moderate. Both of them can do that, but I personally like having tight on CJ McCollum because he's more of a shooter. Rodney Hood, more of a shooter to me, so I put on tight. Mario Azonia, I'll put on moderate. That's on Whiteside. We can just gap perfectly fine. Nurkic, we can leave him because he has a good mid-range. Bazemore, I'll play tight. Zach Collins, I'll play tight. And Nasir Little, I can leave him. And Anthony Tolliver, tight. Pau Gasol tight because he has 3-point. Scala Bissiere and Gary Trent Jr. don't really play, but it's the Trailblazers, and that's just what I do. Go through all of those, and based off of what they can do and how well they can shoot / drive, change those defensive settings. And another thing that helps me is go over to coach settings, go to defensive. Wait, hold up. Team communication, defense only. It'll show you if they switch, whatever they do. That helps me personally. So then we're going to come into the game, and I'm going to talk about how I personally, you know, scored. But I think I might just show clips, actually. I have a bunch of clips from, I'll show clips for the Hakeem, and I'll live show you how I did it. So when we're on defense, stay home, run in transition. You just hit this by hitting right on the D-pad. And we'll wait. I'll give it to Bob Sura. Now, right in the D-pad, freelance settings, Bucks 2018, and I usually do primary focus, get shooters open, pick a random person, tempo, push the pace, and rebounds limit. So with the Bucks 2018, we get kind of this whole setup, and it's not really working how I want it, so I'll just take it real quick. So usually what I do is Clyde, if you run him at the small forward, gets into the corner, and you basically walk up to him and then call holding triangle or Y for him to run the baseline. Or in opportunities like this on the fast break, you literally can just kind of blow by and get to the paint real easy. And that's seriously how I got all of my points. I didn't really try to do too much. I didn't try to do anything fancy. I kept it simple to cheese that the CPU couldn't guard. And that's really what you want to do. Like, look at right here, we're on the break, so we give it to Clyde, and we just go up no matter what. We only got the end one because it's a rookie, but we got the foul. We would have got the foul no matter what. And it's Clyde Drexler. He can dunk. I have him on the Ruby. I did all of mine with the Sapphire. And you just want to run to the paint and just press square when you have him on the fast break. Blow-bys are your best friend. Try to get some steals. Clyde, I'm not joking, is going to be super easy to score with. You just have to implement the right things. This next possession, I'll show you what I mean. We'll kind of, we'll get into a half-court set here. And I'll make sure Bucks is right here. So you can see Clyde's right there. I walk up to him, and Dominique now cuts, but there's Clyde cutting, and he's now wide open in the paint, and boom. So my personal tip would be run him at the small forward, because he will go into the corner like Dominique was, and you can just run up to him, call for that back door by holding triangle or Y, and you'll be set. So now, I'm personally going to talk about how I used Hakeem to get the 39 points, and maybe I'll throw in some defensive clips there, but it's just off ball and wait for people to drive in. So I've probably already been playing them for a while. If you look at all of these clips with Hakeem, I'm running a pick and roll and then throwing it to Hakeem. once I know that he's open. It's exactly the same thing that I did with Kevin Garnett. You see, when I run the pick and roll, Kevin Garnett, for some reason, they just leave him wide open, especially when it's on this superstar difficulty. So you just run the pick and roll, take that wide loop, and then pass it to him every single time, and it's going to be open, I promise you. You might miss, I took, I think, 8 free throws with him during the course of the game, but just stay persistent, stay calm. You have all game to do it. I was rushing and doing it really quick because I wanted to get it done in the first quarter so I could try to evo Clyde in the second half. So yeah, just make sure when you have a challenge where it's all points with one player, try to get blow bys with Clyde Drexler or cards that have really good finishing. And if it's a center, pick and roll. And if it's like I have it, where you can put somebody at the small forward, like when Michael Jordan's guarding you and you have to score 40 with Clyde, put him at the small forward, because then Emerald Scottie is guarding him, not Pink Diamond, Michael Jordan. Really easy, super easy, honestly, to beat these challenges. I hope that we can finally get Game 17 to work, so we can finally, get that gameplay out for you guys. I was trying to do it yesterday. I would have been the first in the world. I finished them in only a few hours, but, whatever. Like the video if you guys did enjoy. Comment down below if you guys have any other questions. I'll be happy to answer them down below. But make sure you watch the entire video through, and don't comment anything about the secondary position glitch, because I know it. Just comment any other solutions that it might work. I've tried spamming it and it really hasn't worked. So subscribe if you guys are new. We're on that road to 1.7K. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'll see y'all in the next video.